Today we are going to look at one of Norway's most mysterious cases. The Isdal woman found dead in Isdalen, Bergen, Norway in 1970 remains unidentified. Originally classified as suicide, ongoing speculation and investigation surrounded the case. Considered a profound cold case mystery in Norwegian history, her true identity and circumstances of her death remain unsolved to this day. Join me as I look into the case of the Isdal woman here on Corras Investigation. Now, before we get into the theories, we must first look at the discovery and the investigation. On November 29, 1970, a man and his daughters found a burnt woman's body while hiking in Isdalen, also called Death Valley, for its historical suicides and accidents. The location was north face of Ulriken in the foothills. Now let's look at the investigation. Bergen police launched a full-scale investigation into the case 134/70 after discovering the body of a woman in the burnt stage near a campfire. The woman's body was severely burnt and her face was unrecognizable. Various items were found near the body, including clothing, accessories, coins, and identification that were removed. 2 suitcases belonging to the woman were later found in the Bergen railway station, containing money, clothing, wigs, makeup, with all identifying information removed. An autopsy revealed that the woman had died from a combination of phenobarbital incapacitation and carbon monoxide poisoning, and she had consumed a large amount of sleeping pills. Police appealed for information in the media and discovered that the woman had traveled around Norway and Europe using fake passports and aliases. She was last seen alive on November 23rd when she had checked out of her hotel, paying in cash and requesting a taxi. The woman's movements after this point remain unknown. Handwritten entries in a notepad indicated her travel destinations, and it was determined that she used multiple fake identities. Despite changing details, she consistently claimed Belgian nationality on the forms, which were filled out in German or French. This mysterious case intrigued investigators as they worked to piece together the woman's identity and the events leading to a tragic death. Here is a list of her false identities. Genevieve Lancy, born in Leuven, living in Rue Sainte-Walburg 2. Claudia Tilt, born in Brussels, living in Palace Saint-Walburg 17. Claudia Tilt, born in Brussels, living in Rue de Madeleine 3. Claudia Nielsen, born in Ghent, living in Rue Sainte-Walburg 18. Alexia Zane Merches, born in Ljubljana, living in Rue Street, Hildegarde 81, Brussels. Vera Jale, born in Antwerp, Netherlands. Elisabeth Lienhauer, born in Ostend, living in Philipsstokstraat 44A, Brussels. And finally, Fenella Lork. She was known to stay at various hotels in Bergen, changing rooms after checking in. Claiming to be a traveling saleswoman and antiques dealer, witnesses mentioned her conversations in German at a Bergen hotel. She was noted to speak Flemish or broken English, emitted a garlic smell, and wore wigs. Composite sketches of her were circulated internationally by Interpol, but she was never identified. While authorities believed she died by suicide from sleeping pills, some suspect foul play. And now we are going to get into the conspiracy theories of the Isdal woman. First, espionage. Given the timing of the Cold War and certain aspects of the case, many have speculated that the Isdal woman was involved in espionage. Here are the reasons. First, multiple identities. She was found with several fake passports and disguises pointing towards a potential intelligence activity. The coded entries in a notebook were believed to be related to travel routes, adding to this theory. Second, unusual behavior. Witnesses reported that she often stayed in hotels under false names, spoke multiple languages, and seemed evasive about her identity. Third, Cold War context. Bergen, near where the body was found, was close to several NATO installations and military activities, leading to speculation that she could have been a spy, either for Eastern Bloc or the West. And finally, cryptic details. The extensive use of fake identities and the possible avoidance of border records have led many to link her to clandestine operations. The second theory goes into suicide or accidental death. Some investigators and journalists have proposed that her death might have been either a suicide or an accident. Here are the reasons. High doses of sleeping pills. An autopsy revealed that a significant number of phenomal in her system suggested a possibility of suicide or an overdose. Burn injuries. She suffered burns on a significant part of her body, which could imply an attempt to take her own life, although it remains unclear how the fire started. And finally, forensic findings. Some suggest she may have gotten lost into the valley, succumbed to the cold, or accidentally overdosed while under stress or mental distress. The third theory looks into a possible criminal activity. Another common theory is that she was involved in some sort of illegal activity, potentially drug trafficking or smuggling, international movement. Her frequent travels across Europe, as evident by her passports, could suggest involvement in some sort of illicit trade. The fact that no one came forward to identify her and that her luggage have been tampered with may suggest criminal connections. Mysterious men. Witnesses claim to have seen her with unknown men in the days before her death, raising suspicion of foul play possibly related to organized crime. 4. Psychological break or identity crisis. There's also a possibility that the Isdal woman was suffering from a mental health issue or identity crisis. First, the erratic behavior. Some of the behaviors, such as changing identities and traveling frequently, could be interpreted as signs of a psychological instability. And secondly, self-isolation. She appeared to avoid close contact with others, rarely interacting with people except in passing. 5. A political assassination. Some theorize that the Isdal woman was eliminated because she knew too much or was involved in some sort of political incentive. Possible assassination. The Cold War context and a mysterious travel history have led some to theorize that she was assassinated either by a state agency or by operatives involved in illegal intelligence activities. The deep state angle. Some conspiracy theories suggested that the nature of her death and the strange investigation that followed point to an orchestrated cover-up of her death. And the sixth and final theory looks at failed love affair or personal dispute. A more personal theory suggests that the Isdal woman's death could have been connected to a failed relationship or interpersonal conflict. Let's look at the witness report. Some witnesses claim she was seen with men, and her movements between cities could suggest that she's either been pursued or involved in a love affair that ended tragically. Abandonment. There's a theory that she might have been abandoned by someone she trusted, leading to a mental breakdown and eventual demise. And ladies and gentlemen, so concludes the case of the Isdal woman. A very mysterious Norwegian case that I don't think, and many also don't think, will be solved. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys are wondering why I haven't been uploading in a while, let's just say my local municipality, which I hope one day I can investigate myself, has been pretty idiotic when it comes to fixing electrical cables and all that stuff. So yeah, maybe one day if I'm big enough. But yeah, so concludes this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good one. Peace and cheers.